Hi guys, I'm back and this time I'm going to be sharing a little bit with you from episode number 2 of the Extraordinarily Ordinary Life of Cassandra Jones. This is Walker Wildcats Year 1, age 10, episode 2, Club Girls. And this book will be free from March 24th to March 31st. Now, when I try to set it to free, not every retailer honors that. So if you can't find it for free on your preferred retailer, try to find it on a different one. So if you usually go to Amazon and it's not free, try on iBooks or try on Nook or Kobo. And I also will have it on my Facebook page, a link where you can go and download it for Kindle or for EPUB. And that's at author.tamara.heiner. So here's a little bit of episode 2, Club Girls. Chapter 1, Ice Cream Treat. Monday. Cassie ignored the butterflies in her stomach as she entered her 5th grade classroom. The weekend had been rather emotional. For the first time since moving to Arkansas, she'd spent the night at a friend's house. But because of the stupid fight over a dog, Cassie wasn't sure if they were still friends. She waited in the bathroom during break and cornered Riley as soon as she came out of the stall. Riley hesitated, something like fear flashing across her face before her green eyes hardened. "What do you want?" She lifted her chin, the short strawberry blonde hair just grazing her neck. "I wanted to apologize," Cassie said. "I was rude to you at your house on Saturday, and I had a nice time before that. Before Riley hid the dog from Cassie, anyway. I want to be friends again." Riley hesitated, and then the stiffness left her shoulders. "Why?" "Well," Cassie hadn't really expected that question, and she blurted out the truth. "Because they called your name at church, and we're supposed to be friends." She followed Riley to the sink and squirted soap on her hands. "They said my name at your church?" Riley squinted at her over the water, both of them washing their hands. "But I don't go to church." "I know," Cassie nodded. A few strands of her straight brown hair had escaped her ponytail, and they floated around her face. She slicked them back. "But you're supposed to. This is why we're—" Cassie hesitated to use the term, but she did. She crossed her fingers that Danelle, her first friend in Arkansas, wouldn't hear. "Best friends." Riley lowered her eyes, but not before Cassie saw her smile. She smiled too, glad that they weren't fighting anymore. Cassandra had just moved to Arkansas from Texas this year, and the first few weeks of school had been confusing, both mentally and emotionally, as she tried to figure out her role and make new friends. She considered herself lucky now. She had 2 best friends, Danelle Pierce and Riley Isabel. The 2 girls didn't like each other, but Cassie figured as long as she kept them apart, that didn't matter. "I'll ask my mom about why they mentioned me at your church," Riley said as they exited the bathroom and got back in line in the hallway. "She'll know." The class continued down the hall for PE. Cassie partnered up with Danelle for catch. "What's going on with you and Riley?" Danelle asked, the metal from her braces reflecting the overhead lights in the cafeteria. "You're like all buddies now." Cassie didn't know if she should feel guilty about having 2 best friends, but she did. "I spent the night at her house on Friday. We're really good friends now." "You've never come to my house," Danelle said, tossing her the ball. Danelle had never invited. "I'd love to come, or you come to my house," she said instead. She tossed the ball back. "I saw you reading the Babysitter's Club. Do you like those books?" "Love them," Cassie said, brightening. She loved to read more than anything else in the world. "Do you like them?" "Yeah, I've read a few of them. They're fun." "We should start our own club," Cassie gasped, catching the ball again. She and her sister Emily had already talked about doing that, but just the 2 of them could hardly make up a club. "You, me, Riley?" "Riley?" Danelle interrupted, wrinkling her nose. Cassie didn't want to leave Riley out. "Well, 3 people isn't very many." Danelle hesitated. "I guess we could try it. I don't know, though. She's so annoying." Cassie was too excited about Danelle agreeing to worry about her jibe toward Riley. "I can't wait! It's going to be so much fun." She envisioned them sitting around her room with the telephone, waiting for people to call them and schedule babysitting assignments just like they did in the books. She tossed the ball again to Danelle, who laughed. "I'll tell my mom. Call me, and we'll plan when to come over." And that's all we'll read from episode 2, and I'll be back later with episode 3.